Hello, MotoAmerica fans, and welcome to this latest edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. We have a special video edition because we're here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. I am Bice, and that's Carruthers on the other end there, our communications manager. Say hello, Carruthers.
Hello, Carruthers.
I have to tell you guys, I don't know if you know this, but we run our ship like Star Trek. You know, he's got the white button-down shirt. I got the loser polo blue shirt here, so it shows that Paul outranks me. But let's talk about the guy in the middle here, Cameron Beaubier, our 4-time Superbike champion, who we talked to at the barber test earlier in the year when we had another video episode of this, and we hadn't talked to him in a while, and he's having a decent year, so we thought we'd check in with him and see how things are going. Cameron, what do you think?
Good.
Everything. This season's gone the way you've hoped. I mean, the transition from Yamaha last year into this team has been perfect, right?
To be honest, it's like I couldn't ask for anything more. I said it in like the last press conference we did after the race. It's just like I feel like I need to be pinched sometimes, you know, winning this many races so far this season, and not only that, but just like the chemistry we have with the guys, you know, like obviously I'm working with a couple new people this year, but it's so cool just how much fun I can see those guys are having when we're winning all this stuff, and it's been a great year so far. You know, I'm working with Richard this year as my crew chief, and a couple past relationships that I've had growing up, that guys like Will Morton, who used to help me on 125s. He lives probably an hour and a half or hour away from me. And yeah, he helped me my 125s back in the day. And so it's just funny how everything comes for full circle. Obviously Lee we've won some championships together, and not necessarily on my direct side, but Mike Canfield, and yeah, it's just cool how everything, you know, comes around, all the people you work with, and it makes you feel good coming off the track and being able to get a win for, you know, for those guys and for how hard they work and all that stuff. So yeah, like I said, everything's been going good so far, and just want to keep it going, not get too excited, and yeah.
Did you have any kind of hint that it was going to be this way, like in the off season, or was it that you couldn't imagine that it would be this good?
No, I mean, I'd say last year, I'm not saying that like I was always giving it 100%, but I wasn't as motivated as I guess now that I'm in my shoes now. This year, I wasn't as motivated last year. I was just kind of stuck in a rut. We had the same bike for many years and all this stuff, and I was working with the same guys year after year, and they're great. They're all great, and my situation was great. And I mean, at the time, I'm obviously giving it 100% and all that stuff. But I feel like this year it's just a fresh season for me. Obviously, I'm still riding an R1, but the bike is so much different than it was in previous years. And every track we go to, it's not necessarily a new track, but I have like new equipment at every track. And just from testing and the times we've been able to do at the tests, and how good I feel on this thing, like it's just been so fun going to all these tracks for me, and being able to see like what this thing has at the new tracks. So that's pretty motivating. And obviously working with Richard, and just like struggling a little bit last year. Obviously, you know, everything came together at the end there last year, but it was not a smooth year last year. Like we had a couple little things go wrong with the bike, and like I said, I wasn't riding to my full potential sometimes, I feel like, or when I would make a stupid mistake or just stuff like that. So I feel like this year, my mindset's a little different, and I'm just like having fun, and it's just on and off the track. So it's been good.
There's a big difference, it seems like, last year, or not just last year, but like, let's just say the previous 3 or 4 years, you could have really used good starts and to get away from everybody, and it never happened. And then now when it's like you wouldn't even necessarily need a good start to make it happen, then the starts happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's funny the way things work, you know. Like for example, last year we just little things here and there that would hold us back. And then when everything is good, then I make a mistake. And then going into Barber, when you're like, what, we were 25 points or 23 points back or however many going into the last round. And I was like, okay, like I'm going to give it everything I have, but you know, I mean, and hope for the best, but like, let's be realistic here. And I think we were like, what, 25
Yeah,
or
it was
20,
something
I don't
like
know.
that.
Anyways, when everything needed to go good, it went good. It's just funny the way things work. But yeah, we're just having fun this year. It's, I feel like we've fixed a lot of the things that we were struggling with in previous years. Like for one, we're getting off the line a whole lot better. We've fixed or we've gained a little bit of acceleration. We're setting the bike up a little bit, just a little bit different, a little bit more stable, a little longer. And we can run first gear, which is pretty cool too. So I feel like that's really helped us at some of the tracks, some of the tighter tracks. So it's been good.
Now, I think it was.
I was just gonna say, if you guys notice, I wanted to point out. So we heard a little PA system countdown here. Cameron's so tuned in as a racer, I think he thought it was the countdown to go to the grid or something.
No,
What's
I
that
don't
all
think
about?
so.
So we had a moment for a minute.
He thought it was a countdown to go to dinner.
Anyway, go ahead, Paul.
So I don't
bad,
know.
my
I don't
bad.
think it was last year, but it was like maybe the year before. It seemed like you had a lot of front end crashes.
Well, easy. I got
no,
race
but
this weekend.
I mean,
man.
I don't think you had the same confidence in the front end there
Yeah.
for a while that you do now. You obviously crashed on the front end at Road America, but it was because you hit a bump. It wasn't like you're just going like normal and all of a sudden you lose the front.
Yeah. No.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it just seems like there's such confidence now, and you just, it's like,
No. Yeah. It has been good. I feel like a part of that is the way the bike is set up right now, and also just having, like, for example, last year and in previous years when Dunlop brought that, it's the red front tire. I don't know the code on it. The 129 is the green tire, and that's what I've been running pretty much all year this year. And then they have a softer, it's like the super soft option, that when they brought that tire, like I felt like it unlocked my bike last year, because the way my bike was set up in previous years, it was pretty short wheelbase, pretty tall. And when I get out on the track by myself, like I can throw good lap times down, and but you're making that lap time on the side of the tire. Like this bike, I feel like it's a little bit more on the scale of like point and shoot, but you can still carve through. It still turns. So
you look really aggressive when you ride now.
yeah, it's just everything's just a little different. Like for example, the electronics also, it allows me to do that because I can rely on the electronics more so this year compared to previous years. Like I know the wheelie control is going to catch like everything, so you can be a little more aggressive with the gas coming out, and it makes you a little less tired as a rider. So that's nice because you're not constantly playing with the throttle, And same with traction control, and I feel like it's just a little bit more refined on this thing. And that's not taken away from anything that the Yamaha boys did in the previous years, because we were able to rack up quite a few championships and stuff like that. It's just a more refined machine. It seems like we have more of a handle on the electronics than we've ever had.
It's funny because people don't really think that bike is that different. You look at it, it's got some subtle changes in the fairing and things like that. But Paul, from his time at Cycle News, probably, the acronym BNG, bold new graphics, you think that's all it got is some new stripes or new colors. But in fact, to you, it's a pretty new bike. Not only you've got a new version of the Magneti Morelli, or the Morelli system, I should say. And but the bike, the engine's a little different. There's some more things that are changed about it than just the graphics, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like for my bike this year, and it could be electronics, it could be a little motor, I don't know, but it jumps off the corner a little bit harder than my bike did last year. But I feel like it's funny because you look at the trap speeds and they are pretty. I mean, I guess they're pretty similar to what they were last year, but it's just doing it in a different way. I feel like it's like we have a little bit more acceleration this year and maybe a little less top end. I don't know. But it's funny because you look at our trap speeds from the previous years, and sometimes we'd have the fastest trap speed, but then I'd get in the race and I'm just getting left off the corners and on the straightaway, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I don't understand by the Suzukis. But it's acceleration, you know, like we start catching up at the end of the straightaway. It's just, it's just different. But I mean, I love it. It's not only is it different, but it's just, well, yeah, it is different. And it's just good as a rider it makes you like hungry having something new and fresh and constantly trying to find things. And Richard, man, like you couldn't find a better guy for the job. Like he is constantly like figuring out what we can do better. Like even when we're in some cases, you know, when we have a little time on people in practice or qualifying, he still wants more. Like he's always finding, like we'll bust out a track map. And I'll tell him like, it could be a little better here, could be a little better here. Like I'm getting a little chatter here. I need more engine braking here. He's like, and then he'll go back and he's like, okay, well that'll keep me busy tonight. And it's just like, all right, like you're not going to stop. You're going to take your laptop back to the hotel room. And it's just, it's pretty impressive. And not only like, I feel like in previous years, like I would have to complain about something for it to change, or yeah, it would stem from me like, okay, I feel like this needs to be better here, and I feel like he goes in and he looks himself for like, oh, we could add a little power here, we could take a little power away here, like we're getting some spin here, and it's just pretty impressive like how in tune he is with the electronics and just like what the bike is doing, chassis wise, all that stuff. And him and Tom, you know, Tom Halverson has that system on his computer, and they go back and forth. It's just it's pretty impressive, and I'm super lucky for sure.
We noticed earlier in the season, not so much now, but some of the sessions, it's like you guys were trying something, or there'd be the situation with the oil level or whatever's going on there. And it seemed like you never have any issues when it comes to race time. So
I hope not.
Right. No, I get that. But I mean, he doesn't, I don't know. I don't think he's experimenting.
I think he just pushes the limits. Trying to find new limits.
Does he talk to you about that? I mean, is it like, we're going to try something in this session just to see, let us know? How does that work for you?
I mean, that was just, we were trying to get the oil level right. I'm not really sure exactly what was going on with that, but all I know as a rider, it's almost better to not know. You're just, you know, you're
right. Exactly.
You're hoping it's all dialed in by the race, and you go do your job type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me nuts when I change the oil on my motorcycles, the sight glass, if you got it the low line and the high line. Okay. It's got to be in there in between, but where is it? Closer to the low line, closer to the high line? I don't know. I'm riding on the street. I don't care.
How much is in the bottle?
It's like,
I just fill it up in my dirt bag.
Till it leaks over, and then you use paper towel to soak it up.
So in racing, you got pumping losses. You got, blow by if it gets too high. All kinds of stuff. I mean, it would just make me nuts. But Richard is obviously always thinking about that and trying to figure it out. So that was something with the new bike he had to get figured out. Obviously, that's not an issue now. But we have heard that, like, maybe it's a tire or it's a session like Sunday morning warm-up. We're going to try something just to see what it does. Have you experienced that where he said, let's try something and see if it improves it? If it doesn't, we know what we've got to go back to for the race. I mean, have you had that situation?
Yeah, I mean, if I could go back at Road America, the race I crashed in, and put a green front tire on, like, I don't know if that necessarily would have like been the deciding factor if I crashed or not, but like if that's not the only thing we changed. We raised the bike a little bit. We did I think we put a different shock in, or we did quite a bit of stuff like that we probably shouldn't have done when we already had a little chunk of time on everybody. But that's just kind of learning lessons, It's just like, and I feel like that's for me and him. We've only been working together for a few or I don't know, half a season so far, and yeah, everything's been great, but like we're still learning each other. And for example, like Rick Hobbs, like he never would have done that because he spent so many years racing from the front and like protecting a lead or not getting too crazy, and Richard's like a tuner. Like he wants like the most out of everything. And like I do too as a rider. And I feel like sometimes we need to not push it too much, like be happy with content with what we got and roll with that.
Do you think that since you guys are still a Yamaha team, you're contracted through Yamaha personally yourself, but you're not a Yamaha factory team, and I don't want to make the distinction because I really don't think there's any difference from my point of view, except does that give Richard more freedom to sort of be able to do that? Whereas Rick, he's working on the factory team with Keith, and it's like, I can't really do as much as it's Richard's ball game, kind of. Is that really the case? I
feel like maybe that's a little bit of the case, but I think it's just their careers have been different. Like Hobbs has always been like a corporate guy, right, for the most part, and Richard has always kind of like done his own thing. So I think it's just different.
Good point. Yeah.
So how bad is it going to bother you if you win the rest of the races to think back on MotoAmerica?
I don't know.
Nothing you can do.
No,
but I mean,
nothing,
still,
yeah.
If it wasn't for MotoAmerica, we'd be talking about like, God, can he have the perfect season?
I know, Has anyone
at least
done
you got
that?
it over with early. What?
Yeah.
No, nobody's done that.
No, I
thought
thought
we talked about it.
What's his name did it? Didn't he? Russell, Scott Russell.
He won every race.
I don't think so.
We'll have to research it. We do know we've talked about the other end of it, which is Thomas Stevens won a championship with one win at one point.
Oh, great! Now I'm going to get an email from him.
Well, no, but Thomas, that's okay. Thomas, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to point that out, but it shows that you were up there all the time and. You're an incredible rider, 1991 champion. I mean, I love you, man. But at any rate, you talked about before we went on here, Hayes had 16 wins in a year. And, you could be 19 to 20. We're not going to talk about that a lot because of that one situation that you had. But my point is.
You guys are stressing me out.
Well, that's the thing.
No,
I don't want to stress you out.
I'm just kidding.
But your point is you just go out and you don't think about that stuff.
No, to be honest, like I just try to take it like race by race.
Right.
Like, if I start thinking too far ahead, with anything, like if you ask anyone, even at home, just like I stress out if we have dinner plans like a week ahead. Like I don't know why. I'm just the worst planner ever. And it's funny because Shelby, like she's so like she plans out her freaking life. Like she plans out my life like for me too.
Well,
like just with her plan. Yeah, I guess.
She needs to do that.
It's just. No, I don't know. I don't like getting too far ahead of myself. I like just
being in the moment.
Yep. Yeah. Just taking it.
Like I'm gonna come out of this being the dick, but I know everybody agrees with me. Like, can you go back to getting some bad starts? I mean, it would really help things,
Dude,
You're like 7th or 8th on the first lap.
Yeah, just so you know, Paul's constantly talking to Cameron about kind of throttling it back a little bit because he wants it to be.
It's so dumb.
But...
No, it's funny because it's not like some people at home, like they'll text me and be like, "Good job," like you're making it boring, or like, I don't know, it looks too easy or stuff. But it's not easy. Like these guys are fast, you know. Like I'm just running for my life, I don't know.
And if I was you, I would just be trying to destroy everybody.
Well, and just I feel like our starts have helped us so much because in previous years I feel like I've had some pace on some people like the field, and then I'll get in the race and I'll get a 5th place start and make my life so hard on myself, and this year I've been able to like utilize I've never realized how much starts matter until this year, like until you actually start getting good starts,
Well, I always thought you were guilty of getting a bad start, and
I used to like not like getting the whole shot. I don't know why. I'd like slotting in.
Right, you would slot in, but then you would end up going the pace of that guy that's ahead of you, even though you were faster. And then with 2 laps to go, you'd decide to pull your finger out. But then sometimes it'd be too late, and Tony would beat you by a 1/10 of a second or something.
Yeah. No, it's
those days are over.
Yeah. It's funny. Like Hayes Hayes and Zemke. You know, Zemke's my rider coach and my manager and all that stuff. And yeah, he's especially Hayes, like, because that's like how Hayes used to do it by the book. You know, like that was his style of racing. Like he'd put in these crazy fast first couple laps, and that was never my style. Like I'd have to roll into it, and
that's right.
He'd get so mad at me just like seeing my starts, like after having a little pace in the last few years, and it feels good that we've been able to switch it up a little bit this year. So.
Did you do anything specific to change it? Like we hear guys will go to drag racing schools or whatever to figure out how to start
No,
quicker.
To be honest, like I used to like slotting in and stuff, but like obviously I realized that I need better starts in the previous years when I just get, you know, shuffled back and have to claw my way through. And yeah, I feel like a lot of it is the bike setup. And when I would actually try to get a good start last year, like same thing, it would just, or the previous years, like I would just go backwards. This year, just the way the electronics are and the longer bike and all that stuff, it all adds up, and it's a lot better.
When you say longer bike, is the bike longer than it was before?
Yeah.
So that actually helps it wheelie a little, control the wheelie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I know that was always a big thing about the R1 is that it had a longer swing arm, and it sort of helped that a little bit. So I didn't notice. That's one of the subtleties that I didn't know about the bike. Maybe people that have bought the new bike realize that, but I sure didn't know that.
Well, no, it's the way our bike is set up.
It's the way
wheelbase. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cameron, let's talk a little about your teammate, Jake, who I know is a good friend of yours. You've known him for a really long time. And, you know, he's different from you, definitely different from you as a person, but I guess he's different as a rider. The bike, it's coming on for him. He's coming after you a little bit. Do you feel that way? How's the dynamic in the team, and what do you see that Jake's doing that you don't do, or, you know, compare and contrast you guys as riders?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, we are like different people and stuff, but we enjoy a lot of like the same things. Like he likes going and spending time with his family and friends at home, and he's got hobbies like outside of motorcycles, which is like really cool. That's the same, you know, same with me. And
he's a vegan. You like a lot of hot sauce.
I like a lot
everything?
Chicken wings and hot sauce. That's a little different, but but yeah, he's a great dude. You know, like he's an incredible talent on motorcycles. Period. Like you've seen what he's done in flat track and like motocross. Like I've ridden motocross with him a handful of times, and it's pretty incredible like what he can do on a motorcycle. And yeah, he's been close the last few rounds, and yeah, I mean, if the day comes he beats me, I mean, he beats me. I know how talented that guy is. So like I'm gonna say good job, and like obviously I want to win, but if he beats me, he beats me. But I think it's been really good, like all the stuff he's taken from World Superbike, and yeah, we just have a really good team dynamic, you know, like obviously Richard's my crew chief, but he also helps Jake. It's funny how different our setups are, just like how we ride the bike a little different. Like he's super aggressive with the thing and a little bit more point and shoot than I am. And it is crazy, like just all the different things you can throw out the R1, and you're still within a few tenths on the racetrack, you know, so like his offset's different, like the rake of the front end is a little different, like cups. You know, just there's a lot of things. Like he runs like the red tire, I run the green tire up front most of the time, and but yeah, it's been great though.
Yeah.
With the success you've had this year and the way things have gone, and here we are and it's raining, that's probably not something you want to see.
No,
right?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that just opens.
I don't like riding in the rain, but like for whatever reason, most of the time it goes decent. Like I'm a decent rain rider, but gosh, dude, I hate riding in the rain. Like it sucks. But to be honest though, like at New Jersey, this place, it's not the best in the rain, but like for whatever reason, we've had quite a few rain races here, and they've gone all pretty decent. So I remember one year I think it was the year we did 2 rounds here.
Yeah,
And
16.
That's right.
the first race or the first event here, it was so freaking cold,
Yeah, it
and you
was.
couldn't even keep heat in the tires. Like you just go out and people were just like
Crashing
hydroplaning
everywhere.
and they just spin out. But obviously it's September, we got a little more temperature, and I don't know how the weekend. It looks like tomorrow for Friday it might be a little wet. Saturday looks dry, and then Sunday it's kind of 50-50. So, I mean, it's the same for everybody. Like we'll get through it, but I'd prefer sunshine.
I want to go back to teammates a little bit. Do you miss Garrett Gerloff?
I mean, yeah, I wish he was racing in the series and stuff like that, but I am super happy for him that he's over there. I know he's like right on the edge of making that next step, you know, like he's close to that, and that next group is the group. So I feel like he's in good shape. I think he just needs to keep grinding over there, and I feel like it's crazy how fast the season's gone by though.
Yeah.
Like they only have 3 rounds left, I'm pretty sure, right?
Nuts.
Yeah, but I feel like Garrett's the perfect guy for that situation right now. Like he's got a good crew over there he's training with, and seems like he's getting on with his team really well. And yeah, I'm it's funny because obviously I've raced the guy for years, and like I want to do good. Like I don't want him to. Well, I want him to do good, but I want to beat him, you know?
Right.
But now, like, I'm rooting for him because, like, it's just so good for MotoAmerica and America if he's crushing over there. So I think he's right on the edge of.
Do you guys stay in touch at all? I mean, do you
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a few weeks, but yeah, a a little bit.
How sick do you get of people trying to tell you what to do with your career? And now it's picked up again because, you know, Vandermark's leaving the team and you're winning all the races. And it's like, oh, Cameron needs to leave and go to World Superbike. And I mean, it's always easy for someone to be sitting at home saying that. But
oh, dude, it's.
So I think you should just go and shut them all up.
All right, okay.
Yeah, we'll put that together.
Find me a ride, man. Find me a ride.
There you go. You got one.
Yeah. No, I do. I would. If I got that PATA opportunity, I would jump all over it. Like that would be incredible. It's tough though. Like there's a lot of good riders over there, and there's not the ratio between like good riders and teams like is heavy on the riders. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if I got that opportunity, it'd be awesome. It's just tough though. Like all the people on social media, you try not to read the stuff, but like it's too easy to open up the comments and read the stuff, and it's just frustrating because people have no idea, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I appreciate the support. Like I want to go over there too, and I just want it to be the right opportunity, you know. I have it. I'm just lucky for what I have here, but I feel like if I had the opportunity and I didn't jump on it, I would kick myself, you know, when I'm done racing.
Well, you think back to that British Grand Prix, British race that you did over there, British World Superbike. That team seems like it's advanced a lot since then, don't you think? I mean, obviously it's a different bike.
Yeah,
but the team seems a lot more integrated and better than they were.
Yeah. The bike and the team are 10 notches above where I feel like when I rode the bike. But I feel like everyone else has improved too. Mm-hmm. So those guys, I mean, it's pretty incredible the depth of field they have, you know, with Redding and obviously Ray and Raz Gedioglu. He's like made a couple steps in the last season, and there's so many good guys out there. Like it'd be for sure tough. I know how good Garrett is. But I also know like why he's struggling a little bit because like those guys are good. Yeah. Like they're really good. So I know it'd be tough to go over there, but I know I can compete with those guys. I just, you know, need a little time, and that's why I want like a good opportunity over there, you know. I don't want to go over there on something I'm unsure about. when I have something this good here. So, yeah, it's tough.
It would be nice if they had one race like at Laguna again.
Yeah, I would love to do a wild card. That's what I was telling Richard. Like, and he's all for it too.
Do a wild card with Richard.
That's what's really cool about our situation this year. Like, yes, it's not necessarily like a factory effort, but obviously we're still getting support by Yamaha, and but it does make us, like, if they can create some budget or find some budget to go over there for obviously the calendar with COVID and all that stuff doesn't line up this year, but that's what's cool about this situation, because if we can, like I said, if we can find budget, we can go do a wild card over there or something like that. And Richard's like all for it. He's all in when it. So maybe that could be something in the future. Obviously this year it's like the season's almost over for them, and we're getting close. So wouldn't really work out, but I would love to see how my attack bike would stack up with those things. So yeah,
it'd be interesting
we'll
to see. It's tough because we want you to go on and to the world stage, but at the same time, you've been racing with us. Personally, I've known you for long enough now that it would be sad for me to not see you at the races. But at the same time, I mean, it would be such a proud moment. You know, we're feeling that way about Garrett too. So that would be really cool. I think we're going to wrap it up here, Paul.
Yeah, we're good.
With that.
Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Cameron, for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Especially at New Jersey here. Thanks to the fans, and we please subscribe to MotoAmerica Live Plus, our subscription streaming service, which is great to watch all of our races, most of the practices, Super Pole, qualifying, anything you want to see.